Hey, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Ellis. This is Stupid Marketing Tweets, the podcast where we point out bad ideas that undermine the reality of marketing.
Let's take a look at this week's stupid marketing tweet. And I wish I had read this one live for the first time because just before Ellis showed it to me, I lost it. So, Ellis, why don't you share this tweet?
Oh, all right, here we go. This tweet says, want to earn $5,000 a month from your project? And then there's a bulleted list that says, learn frontend, learn backend, learn SEO, learn marketing, learn automation, build audience. Be prepared to fail with your first project and learn from it.
I don't even know where to start. You go, Ellis.
Well, I think you said it pretty well after you read through the tweet the first time. You said, want to learn to build a house? Become an architect, become a construction worker, become an electrician, become a plumber, become a tile layer, become a drywall hanger. Like, come on now.
I really appreciate the low barrier to entry for nearly every field, in the domain where we work on the internet. However, this is like saying, go get 6 bachelor's degrees. This tweet is just so dumb and uninformed. And then the other idea is like, okay, let's say Anthony is completely wrong, which he often is. Let's take a look at the other side of the spectrum. How good do you want to be to do these things before you can actually start executing? And when will you actually be ready to pull all of this off and run it in one project? The first one that is going to fail, So how many years are you going to give yourself to start earning this $5,000 a month thing? It just drives me crazy.
Well, and let's just talk about the fact that you learned these 6 things and you're only making $5,000 a month. That's it? That's not even $100,000 a year.
He could be from some other country where $60,000 a year is like an unbelievable amount of money.
It's true. I'm just assuming that because it has the dollar sign that is usually used in the United States. I'm assuming, I'm coming from an angle of assumption here that you're only earning $5,000 a month and you know all of this. Like, it's not like that's a bad salary, but you could learn one of those and make that in a month if you have a job.
That's such a good point. Learn one of these and then make $5,000 a month. For example, I have done front-end development. It is hard work, and it's constantly changing. It takes a lot of effort just to keep up with the latest changes and what browsers support, what CSS features and whatever. And then backend, that's its own discipline. And I've hired full-stack developers and front-end and backend. Let me just tell you, full-stack developers, like one full-stack developer does not equal one front-end developer plus one back-end developer. Those are 2 very different jobs, and the people who are full-stack and do both of them are not necessarily experts in both. And if they are, they're making way, way more than $5,000 a month. They're making $5,000 a week.
That's right. So I can't call this person out by name, but get with it. What are you promising here? I don't get it.
Well, and let's talk about SEO. How much black magic is there with SEO? You have way more experience than I do.
Obviously, with all of these things, there's a low barrier to entry, but there's a learning curve, and things change all the time. Same with audience, like building an audience, learning automation. Like, none of these things are things that you just learn and then know. It's not like learning a language where there are only so many words for things, and it fits in a little box, right? It might be a big box, but it fits in a box. This is always growing. It's always changing. And I think it's ridiculous to assume that people need to learn everything in order to do something. Do what we did. I don't know how to do front end or back end, but I know how to do SEO and marketing and some audience building and a little bit of automation. You just team up with someone like Anthony.
I do everything. I'm already making $5,000 a month. So, Actually, I'm not.
You do everything? Do you do everything, Anthony?
No, I'm saying everything else on the list.
I know,
can
but
do it all.
Do you?
No.
No, you don't. Okay, thank you.
Of course not. Not anymore. I gave it up so that I could, run a business, as though that's a whole other, or as though that's not even a whole other skill that you have to do all of these things, right?
That's not where I was going to go with it, but okay, I'll let you off the hook with that.
So why do you think this is popular, Ellis? Why do you think it hit the Twitter marketing, whatever topic?
Who knows with you Twitter people? I mean...
That's the quote of the year.
I think I would say that probably people didn't read it too closely, frankly. But people love these little list things of how you can earn X amount of dollars learning, X number of skills. I feel like marketing Twitter loves those like quantifiers, and they love these lists that seem really achievable. But if you like actually think about it for a minute, it's really not. Like I really would question whether this person was serious. Though, look, never mind. I won't say that. But I was thinking uncharitable thoughts, and that's not nice.
Yeah, I'm looking through some of the replies on this, and then somebody else writes, some other skills to learn, copywriting and advertising. I mean, it's kind of like, I made this presentation several years ago about company culture. And I was like, well, company culture is the behaviors of the company, the way that, teams communicate, what gets promoted. I had this kind of list going on. And my friend Pete, who started the wrongasusual.com domain that points to my website, he wrote plus money equals business. So it's like if you just do all of these things, you have company culture. And then if you add money, it's literally the entire business. It's the entirety of the company. And so, this is just like some ridiculous list that if anyone who is serious and spends more than 5 seconds thinking and stops scrolling and engages that system 2 thinking, can be like, oh yeah, this would be like 5 whole departments of people.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous to expect or suggest that someone needs to learn all of these things. 1, to make money. 2, to be a qualified professional or marketer. And does this person know all of them? That's what I would like to know.
It sounds like he's got a pretty good grip on a lot of them. And somebody else writes, 3 down, 3 to go. It's like, come on, you people.
Yeah, well, I guess, it brings into question, to what degree should one learn these things? Do I just need to learn enough front end to make a Squarespace site? Like, okay, done. Right.
So, yeah, I think you're right. I think people like these kinds of lists, and these types of tweets make people feel good. I think there's some sort of like, I don't know, maybe a spirit or a culture on Twitter where it's like, if you like these kinds of tweets, that means you're an entrepreneur, or it means something about you. And I feel like these stupid marketing tweets are little mirrors, little tiny mirrors that people hold up, and then they're like, this makes me feel good about myself. This tweet says something about me instead of something about reality. So that's kind of where my head goes in terms of why these things succeed.
I mean, it's just that little echo chamber. Everyone likes to think they're grinding and hustling because they're on Twitter. So,
right. Why not grind and hustle at, like you said, 1? Just pick 1. Grind and hustle.
I mean, I really take issue with those verbs, but yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right, cool. We beat this one to death. So anything else we have to say?
Well, we beat it to death, so no.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, if you want to learn more about what Ellis and I do, you can go to edifycontent.com, and please feel free to respond to anything we said in this tweet or in this episode with the hashtag stupid marketing tweets.